sing sadly. She was singing in her sleep. She was looking at me. There was something in her voice, something I was sensing. There was something in her voice, something that was missing. She had sealed herself inside a body she could sleep in. She had sealed herself inside, nobody could see in. Love is just a little lamb looking for a hunk of ham. Love is just a lonely lamb looking for a hunk of ham. Love is just a little lamb looking for a home.
Hi, everybody. It's me, Randy, singer for the Residents. This is Chuck over here on keyboards. Bob on guitar. Now, I'm sure both of our longtime fans out there remember that there were always 4 of us. Well, I'm sorry to say that Carlos has retired. After almost 40 years, Carlos decided that the rock and roll lifestyle was just not for him. So Carlos went back to Mexico and he's taking care of his mom now. We miss you, buddy, though. We're still with you. We won't really miss those extended drum solos, though. Okay, so we wanted to invite all of you people in here to our little living room so that we could play a few songs for you and tell a few stories. Now, some of these stories are kind of spooky. So, get ready. Here's the first one. It's called The Talking Light.
Uh-oh. Catch it.
I was out walking by myself and wandered into an unfamiliar area. The land was badly eroded, and as I looked up a small ravine, I saw a little cottage that appeared to be deserted. I noticed a weathered piece of paper stuck to the door and became curious as to what it said. In large, shaking letters were the following words: "If you find my baby inside, please bury him." Startled, I took the note off the door and continued to read.
Stay here no more. Something has my baby in that house, and I can't get him back. There is some kind of light surrounding him, and every time I try to reach my hand into the light and grab my baby, it burns me. But it don't seem to be hurting him none. And there's a voice coming out of the light, and it says, "Find the ring, find the ring." I looked all over that house. I tore up the floorboards and I peeled off the wallpaper, but I can't find the ring anywhere. And now, I am so tired. I am so tired. I don't know what to do. I may have to go to try and find help for my baby. Oh God, help us! I think somehow we wound up in hell. And somehow, I get the feeling it must be my baby's fault. But I don't know what he's done to deserve this.
Except for a small area around the baby bassinet in the center of the room, the interior of the shack was total chaos. After working my way through the jumble of broken furniture, loose floorboards, and other rubble, I finally reached the side of the oddly spotless and pristine bassinet, covered by a clean white blanket. Filled with apprehension, I removed the cover, revealing the perfectly formed skeleton of a baby, clutching a wedding ring in its right hand.
Lost
After scratching a shallow hole in the dry dirt of the ravine, I was about to dump the pitiful basket of bones into it when I noticed some words engraved on the ring. Deeply disturbed but compelled to continue, I brought the ring closer to my eyes and made out the words, "A mother's love erases rages. A mother's rage erases." But the rest was scratched out. Overwhelmed by feelings of fear, disgust, and confusion, I threw the ring and the baby skeleton into the hole. I quickly covered them with dirt and ran home. No one has ever believed my story, and I've tried to convince myself that it must have been a dream induced by the instability of adolescence. I take comfort from that thought. I don't know about you, but I believe in ghosts. They've always been there, my whole life, under the beds and the backs of the closets. There was this guy named Red, a construction worker guy that I worked with on a 12-story building, and one day, all of a sudden, beep, pop, Red fell off the building. And I found his body, all rearranged in a weird kind of a way. But from that time on, every time I went up somewhere really high, like the edge of the Grand Canyon or the top of the Dubai Tower, Red would suddenly appear, and he would talk to me in this sweet, soothing voice and try to get me to jump. And then there was this big, giant, glowing ball that just came down and landed on top of my head when I was stuck in quicksand in Crossett, Arkansas. And inside of that ball were all these worms and snakes and bugs and the cut off head of a train conductor. It was really weird in there. But worst of all are the mirror people. The mirror people. I'll tell you more about them later. Butchers to work with a competent clerk, executing those who had abandoned the truth. Then four faces appeared around the sides of the sphere, spinning over a throne made of amber and bone. The ball was covered with eyes, and as it started to rise, God commanded the clerk to take me back to the dirt. exactly how or why. The mirror people, the mirror people. I've always known about them, but it was never really a problem until one day I was in my bathroom and it was all steamed up and the mirror was all foggy, and all of a sudden I heard this voice and it said, "Randy, I want you." I said, "Pardon me?" And I looked around, but nobody was there. But I knew where it came from. I knew. And slowly I walked up to the mirror and I wiped it away, and there he was, staring at me.
It happened again. I dreamed about him again last night, but the real problem is that he's not just in my dreams. No, now the scary part is I'm starting to think about him all the time. Sometimes I even think I see him, and sometimes I think I'm becoming him.
Nijmegen.
pudding roll-ups. Am I surprised? Am I surprised?
Maybe you've heard about him. The Pudding Killer? He was pretty famous back in the 80s. A serial killer who stuffed his victims' mouths full of pudding roll-ups. Pudding roll-ups were this kid's snack food back in the 80s. They looked a little like chocolate tacos all rolled up in wax paper. And the Pudding Killer, he would tie up his victims and then roll them up in carpets. And he'd stuff their mouths full of pudding roll-ups. Of course, they eventually found 52 bodies with their mouths full of pudding roll-ups until they finally caught him. Well, anyway, one night not too long ago I had this dream where all of a sudden I started hearing this guy sing. The song was kind of familiar, but at first I couldn't figure out what it was, and then bingo, it hit me. It was a commercial for pudding roll-ups. And I kept having this dream over and over, and the more I heard it, the more I recognized who was singing the song. And it was like bingo again. The singer was Hugh Enkelman, the Pudding Killer. Well, at this point, I was pretty upset, as you might imagine. Bad enough, a couple of weeks later, I was looking in the mirror, and all of a sudden I started seeing Hugh's face right on top of mine. And then I started seeing it more and more. And whenever I saw myself in a store window or a rear view mirror or anywhere, there was Hugh's face kind of weirdly blending into mine. And then all of a sudden I started getting this craving for pudding roll-ups. I completely forgot about them until you started singing about them in my dreams. Well, Of course, you can't buy them anymore. So I found this recipe for taco shells, and I replaced chocolate for the cornmeal, and I mean, it took a little bit of experimentation, but they're not that bad. See? Here's one I made. Okay, here's the heavy part. Halloween is coming next week. And well, I've been working on my costume and well, I'm going as you. Okay, I know it's weird, but it's just something I have to do. I have to. I found an old pair of overalls like Hugh used to wear, and as you can see, I made a mask out of pudding roll-ups just like he did too. And I've been gathering up these pieces of old carpet and rugs, and some rope too. Okay, it's disturbing, I know, but somehow it just makes me feel this tingle, this electric tingling sensation all over every time I think about it. I can't wait, you know? I really don't think you was such a bad guy.
Pudding roll-ups. Am I surprised? New pudding roll-ups. Stephen said little Ted was dead. I read in a letter today. The same for Monica's monkey, she said. Quietly it passed away. His eyes were black and his beak was brown. Mr. Cuckoo has fallen asleep, and soon his home will be underground. Mr. Cuckoo has fallen asleep.
Once I went to Barstow, then I went to bed.
First my friend was with me, then my friend was dead. All his clothes were burned up, and his thighs were red. After all we've been through, what more can be said?
The mirror people, they have their rules. They have their rules. And if you look at them straight in the mirror, they never talk then. They never talk. And if somebody else is in the room, oh, they never talk then either. But they're there. They're there, and they're trying to get out, and they're trying to become you. My wife is one. My wife, Bonnie, she's one. That's why I sleep in the garage now. Once, when I was a kid, I was in a barber shop. I don't go in those places anymore. But I went and I sat down in that big chair and I looked all around at all those mirrors all around me, and I freaked out and I jumped, and it made the barber stab himself in the cheek with his scissors. My mom cut my hair after that.
Next time you're stuck with the nastiest job in the house, make it vanish.
twin sister that no one could see but me. We lived in a farm without any neighbors, so she was my constant companion. But for some reason, she'd like to play tricks on my mother. These tricks were often mean, and even though I didn't, I usually got the blame, I was unable to stop myself from helping her.
Unseen sister objects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister protects.
Once we were playing under the kitchen table where my mother was sitting shelling peas. I grabbed her leg and said I wanted to play horsey as my sister placed a loop of clothesline around her ankle. Mother said no, and then she got up from the table, walked 2 steps, and tripped as she reached the end of the rope. As my mother fell, she knocked a boiling pot off the stove. It fell on her head. Even though it was July, she was cooking pasta in the shape of little green Christmas trees because it was my favorite. Mother's face was no more than 6 inches from mine as she screamed, jerked away the pot, and revealed her red bubbling face covered with little green Christmas trees.
The unseen sister. The unseen sister. The unseen sister. The unseen sister. Several years later, my father
said that she had become tangled in the cord of a toaster and electrocuted herself as she stumbled around the room, screaming in pain. I have a goldfish that died one time, too.
The unseen sister objects. The unseen sister protects. The unseen sister expected nothing from life. And so she passed from sight.
Mirror people. Okay, all right, I know. This mirror people stuff, it sounds pretty weird. You probably think I'm crazy. Okay, all right. I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna show you right now. All right, get ready. Wait. It's a mirror. Okay. All right. Now I'm going to show you. See, mirror on front, mirror on back. Now, you people back in the back, you're probably okay. You guys down here, I don't know. But I'm gonna look in this mirror and you're gonna see right now. It's good. It's just gonna be pretty dangerous. All right. I'm Randy, singer for the residents. This is Chuck over here on keyboards. Bob on guitar. Fuck Carlos. Okay, all right, so now we've got a few more songs for you. And this first one is about a dear, sweet little old lady.
one else knows how much I am scared. I might murder myself. My plants. My plants. If I do it, who will water my plants? Maybe Martha. She sent a card on Mother's Day. And she has a fern and 3 philodendrons. They look terrible, though. Just like her apartment. She never dusts her leaves. What about Berta? She's been married 3 times. How could she possibly take care of orchids? And if I do it, how long would it be before they noticed? Weeks, months, and all that time, my poor orchids being eaten by those aphids. I know why. I know why. I know why they hold it against me. It was a long time ago. He was old. He was old, poor thing. And he could barely hop around. Somebody had to do it. Somebody had to.
lights at night. Like a corpse in the sunshine, or a face in a fight.
There's a spot. There's a spot on my glove. No. It was make 'em runny. Make 'em runny, honey. Doilies. Where have all the doilies gone? Roses will wither and die, along with the lace and the lights. Nothing is nicer than death, and matching the bed and the best. He hated me. He hated me. And hate is hot. And hate is white. I'll not even have disdain for him. Not even a stain on the memory lived up to. Lacking all respect for him, I'm blacking out the specks of decent thoughts that linger in me. Leaving only white. Calm, peaceful white swans, silently flying through the snow, looking down at the bleached bones of a noble knight who wanted to bring her man milk in the moonlight. But it was too late. It was too late. It was too late. He said,
stonden lopen.
Bury me not on the lone prairie. These words came slow and mournfully from the bleeding lips of a youth who lay on his dying bed at the close of day. Darkness hovered above his head as the shadows of death grew thick like lead. He thought of his home and his family that night as the cowboys gathered to watch him die. and his voice stopped there. But we took no heed of his dying prayer. In a narrow grave, just 6 by 3, we buried him there.